Welcome back to Fighting with Friends. We are still the undisputed African Fighting Podcast champion of the world. One Fight Night 33 took place just a few hours ago. We're recapping the card, and with me today, as always, is the reigning, defending, undisputed Vegan champion of the world, Ooh, Brother Gaia.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's
So
happening,
good.
VG? Fresh off the live stream, looking fresh
Yeah,
here.
no sleep.
Yeah, no sleep, team, no sleep. Yeah. But as always, we are professionals, BG, and that means we start.
At the top of the card. Let's go.
At the top of the card, we saw the champion, Allycia Hellen Rodrigues, defend the strap here against Johanna Persson. And yeah, but I mean, we predicted an easy night for her at the office. She took a
Yeah.
round or two to get her leads. And yeah, once she started putting her foot on the gas, there was really no
hmm
chance for Johanna Persson here. Seemingly a skill deficit. But
Yeah.
yeah, let us know your thoughts on how this one played out, PG.
Yeah, I like that you alluded to the taking a round or two to warm up. But I would say that even in those two rounds, right, she was still consistently landing to the body. She was still picking her targets. It looked almost like she was um battering up Pearson for that kill shot in the later rounds. That's why I was saying for fourth round finish. Because the last couple of fights from Rodriguez, she displayed that style. Formerly she used to be like Pearson, where she walks you down and she just lets the hands go, right? But she really leveled up and leveling up by being like a champion. Select your shots. You've got 5 rounds to beat this person up. You don't have to do everything right now. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that in that first 2 rounds, Pearson looked like she was in the fight. She was even celebrating every round, but I could see that everything that she was throwing at Rodriguez wasn't doing anything to Rodriguez. Every time Pearson came into the void, Rodriguez would throw a knee, stepping knee, a hard body shot, couple of 1-2s to the body, steps off, maybe gets into a clinch, throw a short elbow. But what was very consistent with Rodriguez was that it was always a body shot, whether it was a tip, a body kick, a punt, a hook to the body, or knee. She always threw that every time they would enter and exit the void. I thought that was actually battering up Pearson the whole time, and that's why when she went to that combination that you like so much, where it was a straight right to the body, left hook, she threw it 3 times in a row. The first one dropped her, second one missed, third one dropped Pearson again. Ended the fight right there. Um, great combination, power advantage in her favor. But I mean, that's what we knew going into the fight. And yeah, actually now you can kind of see why I was so heavily in the favor of Rodriguez. The fight showed based why. Pearson, big ups to her, great athlete, a lot of accolades. I just think that Rodriguez is a different pedigree from what she fought in the past. Pearson fought a lot of good competition, but I don't think she fought competition like Rodriguez, and that's why I had no doubt that Rodriguez was going to win the fight.
Yeah, definite power differential there, PG. And yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Johanna Persson for sharing us a post on Instagram. We do appreciate all the love, so be sure to
Yeah.
like the video and subscribe to the channel. BG, so we ran a poll at the end of the stream as to who we think
Mm.
Allycia should fight next, and we were very much in the Phetjeeja camp. Has
Yeah.
anything changed in the last 2 hours for you?
No, it's been like this since Alicia's. I think it was the third defense that she had, and I was thinking uh, she fought Morales, McManaman, and now Pearson. None of them, for me, in my opinion, were worthy for the title shot. And all three of those times when she fought those athletes, Rodriguez called for Phetjeeja at the end of the fight. She didn't call out anybody at the end of this fight. She got a bonus. She was quite overwhelmed. The emotions came out of her, but she didn't call out anybody. And I think she's kind of tired of saying it all the time because we all know now like, who the rightful opponent should be, right? I
Mm.
mean, Phetjeeja is we know that she fights both disciplines, kickboxing and Muay Thai. She's a kickboxing Atomweight champion right now. We don't have the rankings on the website, so I can't show you that. But we can kind of go through the names that she had fought. That a lot of these athletes and Phetjeeja has got a good record in Muay Thai. She's been more consistent there actually. So I would say let him go back. Let him throw down so we can have maybe a two sport champion for either one of them. Rodriguez is running out of opponents. It's like the Alexander Pantoja effect. Yeah, we're starting to run out of opponents now for the athletes that's lapping the division. Um, Phetjeeja has also gone through they've gone through all the opponents that there is possible to go through in kickboxing. They brought Kana Marimoto to come and fight Phetjeeja. Phetjeeja beat Morimoto in her home ground. So yeah, I think the natural progression for both athletes, they're both young. Let them go for two sport champion, Two titles would look
Mm.
nice on their shoulders on either one of them. So I would pay top money for that fight.
Fair, fair, yeah, big ass belts, bruh. But yeah, it seems to be the logical move, man. It's like queen
Yeah,
versus queen. There can only be one. Let's
you
find
know.
out Mr. Charles and make it happen. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have any different thoughts or if you agree, let us know in the
Mm.
comments. PG, any final thoughts from your side? Yes, sir.
Yeah, we could see Johanna Persson can maybe fight one of the ladies that lost to Rodriguez before this, either McManaman or Christina Morales. One of them that took the loss.
I
And
don't
kind
know
of
if
worked.
the McManaman was a one fight contract. I don't know if she's contracted to
Oh yes,
the
you're right, you're right.
organization. Remember, they're going
Well,
outside of the organization, so I don't even know if person is contracted either. You know what I mean?
yes, that's very true. That could just be the one fight contract. You're absolutely correct
Mm.
there. I didn't think about that. I didn't hear any information about whether person is contacted for more than one fight or this was just a one time thing. But if that's the case, again, like I said, uh, then leave Pearson out of the conversation. Phetjeeja Rodriguez next. We also have what's her name? I'm not sure if it's Atomweight or they fight in strawweight. Um, Nico Vera, Nico Vero, Francesco Vera that fought now recently. Those they're looking really good at the moment. The performances are looking fantastic. I would love to see whether I'm not too sure if it's the same weight class, but I think they might be a bit bigger than Rodriguez and Phetjeeja. But that's also two really good fighters at the moment. But anyway, my final thoughts is going to stay what it is. Phetjeeja Rodriguez is the fight to make.
Book it, Mr. Chowdhury. Let's make it happen. All right, PG. We can keep
Yep.
moving then. We can go to the co-main event.
So
We saw our boy Shadow come up against Mohammad Younes Rabah. And yeah, unfortunate result here. The result
mm,
was a no contest due to an accidental eye poke. And I actually caught some of the post-fight interview with Shadow. And he says
yeah.
he was quite unhappy because he claims it was an elbow that hit Mohammad Younes
Huh?
Rabah in the face. Yeah, that's what he was
Where
saying. I don't know,
do I need
bro.
to watch?
That's this is just what he said in the post fight. He was adamant it's an elbow, but he was like he can't say that Mohammed Yunus is lying. But it was just
Yeah.
like he felt like it was an elbow that connected to his eye. So something maybe
I'm
to be
not so
said, maybe
sure.
to be watched back there another time just to confirm. But
Yeah.
nonetheless, a sad result here. Shadow, of course, did get a knockdown close to the end of the first round, and the fight was shaping up to be a
Mm,
good one. I mean, Mohammad Younes Rabah did look good leading up to the knockout. He was going to work on Shadow's lead leg a lot.
a lot.
But yeah, BG, sad situation here. What can you tell us?
Before I continue, I just wanted to confirm that both Nico Vero and Francesco Vera are in the atomweight division. So yeah, there's some fresh meat for someone like uh, Rodriguez. But anyway, going back to this fight, yeah, you kind of painted the picture. There were 2 rounds, right? There were, well, one and a
Yeah.
half rounds.
Mm-hmm.
That second round didn't go all the way. That's why it's a no contest. That first round, I definitely give it a Shadow for the knockdown. But I do also think that other than that knockdown, it was very, very even, very close. Both athletes were putting work on each other. Especially Muhammad's calf kick. That calf kick was money for him because Shadow wasn't taking it very well. He wasn't even checking it anymore. He was just like, all right, here we go. And you could see that he was stepping a little bit differently, but he was getting more aggressive and he was starting to push Muhammad back, starting to land some damaging shots. And even when he cut that angle and landed that right hand, was beautiful, dropping Muhammad Younes' beautiful knockdown. Second round, I felt that Shadow had to go forward again because I purely believe that his leg was compromised, and that's why he was being so aggressive. I don't think that he had to be as patient as he would like to have been. I don't think he would have lasted. I think Muhammad would have taken his leg out of him. So he was being a bit aggressive. Look, you and I both saw the replay, 80, and from what my eyes, it looked like there was an eye poke in it. I'm struggling to remember where the elbow came in that instance because that was the last interaction. Was Shadow coming in, faking the left jab with the open hand, by the way, and then you could see it was a poke, and then he threw the right, boom, then went in for the knee. So I'm thinking like,
Mm.
that was the last interaction that happened before Mohammed fell down and grabbed his eye. Prior to that, I didn't see no elbow, and that
Yeah.
was that was that was also like very early in the second round.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't. And as again, I'm not trying to
Yeah.
show anything on Shadow. We wanted Shadow to win, um, but yeah, I don't think there was an elbow there. That was a complete eye poke to me. But the fight was looking really
Yeah.
good up until that point. It was getting very tasty, and then it was getting heated up. And you can see both these
Mm.
boys were there to prove a point because Shadow is ranked number 3. Mahmoud wants to go for the title, obviously. So I think that it was a fight that was really shown to really heat up once we get into that second round, and that happened. So it was an
Mm.
unfortunate finish, but I think both guys are healthy. Muhammad looked like he sent a picture to Instagram. His face was taped up, eye was closed and stuff. So hopefully he heals up. We're gonna wish him well for a good heal up. And I think for Shadow, just take it patient, run
Mm.
this fight back. This is a good fight to make. I think it's a good fight for the division as well. I don't think they should fight anybody else next. I think they should just rest up. Because also if Shadow takes another fight now, it has to be someone that's in the rankings. It can't be someone outside of the rankings again. Muhammad was that
Mm.
guy. So I think that he would risk himself, his ranking, if he takes another fight. So I would say
Mm.
let Muhammad heal up, then run the fight back. You guys already game planned for each other, so there's not much to do other than just heal up, repair again, short fight camp, and then you go again. That's easy the fight to make for the division for me.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Shadow did confirm that if Mohammad Younes Rabah was willing to accept the rematch, that he was game to go. He did confirm that in
Okay,
his interview.
there
And
you
just
go.
on the eye poke, I mean, maybe something got lost in translation there, but you can watch the interview on Nick Atkins' channel and
Mm,
you can see what exactly Shadow said. But there was a translator there, so I'm not sure if maybe something got lost. But I also didn't see any elbow leading up to the eye poke. So
yeah.
yeah, we maybe have to watch that back and we can have a discussion about it maybe
Yes.
later this week in our news segment.
Okay. Good idea. It's a very good idea. But I mean, I would really want this fight to run back. There wasn't any telling signs that either guy was an outright dominant one. They were very, very like locked in on each other, and any mistake could cause something happening. Bad to one of them. So I think it needs to be run back, especially because they ended in this
Mm-hmm.
fashion. If there's a no contest on your resume, it needs to be corrected, in my opinion. So
For
yeah,
sure.
run it back.
For sure. I'm sure both guys would be game. Like I said, Shadow is game, so Mohammad Younes
Yeah.
Rabah should be too. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that one again. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, PJ, anything else from you on this one, bro?
No, I think that's about it. Just that the very little time we got to watch them fight, it was quite entertaining. That's why I want to see
Yeah,
it happen. I want to see it happen again.
definitely, definitely. All right, then, bro. We can move down the card, and here we saw Ibrahim Duaev defeat the debutant Pedro Dantas. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that Pedro Dantas made fans of us, and I'm sure many other
Yeah.
people on the night. So just want to say, Boa Brazil, obrigado Brazil. All the interaction from the Brazilian people that we got early on was fantastic. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was a fantastic fight. It was back and forth. Pedro Dantas, so dangerous on his back, so dangerous in his guard. He was tempting multiple submissions. Ibrahim defended well. And yeah, ended up doing what he needed to do, chain
Yeah.
wrestling, getting top position and landing some heavy ground and pound. Pedro was quite busted up by the end of the fight. So BG, absolute firecracker this one, bro. What's on your mind here?
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, while you were busy holding us in there, I was just looking at the featherweight MMA rankings, and just if you didn't know, I found out about a day or two ago that Pedro Dantas was supposed to fight against Ilya Fremenov in this fight. And Fremenov is ranked number 4 in the division, and Ibrahim stepped up. So that kind of tells you what one was trying to do with Pedro. There
Mm,
was a little bit of like we could actually use this guy as a good way to sell our
yeah,
MMA scene for the featherweight division. But Ibrahim
yeah.
came in and did his thing. He did exactly what he needed to do. Like you said, he was, in my opinion, and it's going to sound a little bit salty, but I think Ibrahim fought a safe fight, and that's fair because even that being said, it's not like he did it in a bad way. He won the fight. He knew that if he wrestled this dude, takes Pedro down and keeps him there, he was able to get mount in almost every round that he did get the takedown. He was able to get mount, so that indicated to Ibrahim that I can actually wrestle with this guy and I can actually maybe dominate him there. So obviously safety first in your mind, like, okay, let me get there, and then once we in this division, this positioning, he can't really hit me from here. But we can grapple and it can kind of be fair game, and that's kind of what he was deploying in this fight because when the fight was standing, when the fight was standing, um, Pedro was looking good. Had no idea that he was that tall. But when he was standing, Pedro was able to, when he was standing in southpaw, he would step forward, throw his left straight, and it will land. Going back into orthodox and do the exact same thing. Step forward, throw a right straight, and it will land. And every time it did land, Ibrahim just bounced back and immediately was like, "Nope, I'm taking you down. We're gonna wrestle." And even in that moments where they were wrestling, big ups to Pedro for the way that he scrambled. He scrambled really well for a massive guy. He was able to grab submissions. He had a triangle choke locked in very tight in that first round, which made him won that first round, by the way. And then even in the second round, he went from toss chokes back to guillotines. I mean, he dumped the guillotine first in the first round, sorry, and then he had the toss in the second round. But I mean, he was just hunting for submissions the whole time, and for the most part, it looked like it was in. But then that's when you have to give props to Ibrahim for getting out of it. The same way we would score Pedro for almost finishing the fight with a submission, you have to give a similar score base for someone actually to reverse that. Because he didn't just get out of the submission, he reversed the position as well and got on top game and started landing some damaging blows on Pedro. End of the second round, end of the first round, and at the end of the third round, he landed on top of the rounds. So yeah, rightfully so, he won the fight. I do think it was very close though. But this was my pick for fight tonight, just because it was back and forth. Both guys, you could see they came to fight. They didn't come there just to kind of, get my paycheck, be safe, be a clean sport about it, and say, look at my record. I'm still like, undefeated, and I'm fighting in these clean fights. Both guys came in there and they went to war, and I have to give credit to Pedro for that because Pedro took it to him. He started to stay down. He was like, we're gonna get into a fight now. You know what I mean? Because Ibrahim does fight very clean. I think Pedro made it an ugly fight for him, and I think that's why I have to give props for Pedro's debut. There was big ups, and I want to see him fight again.
Definitely, BG. And yeah, this one entertaining from the first ball to the last. I mean, even before the first ball, the stay down that you alluded to there set the tone quite nicely. But what do you want to see next from these guys, BG?
Yeah, so I'm going to bring the rankings up on screen. This is the current featherweight MMA rankings. Obviously, it needs to be updated. We know that Akbar Abdullayev is actually the champion, and Tang Kai is number one. Stanley is still number two. Shamil Gasanov is starching everybody, so he deserves number three. Ilya Fremonov has only fought once in the last 2 years. I want to see more activity from him, but he's still a very, very good fighter. Martin Nguyen retired. He's technically not supposed to be there. So I would love to see, what's his name? Ibrahim. Give him a contender. He's on a now 10-fight win streak. That's 3-0 in the one championship, I think. Let me just double check that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3-0. So I would say let's give this guy someone higher up. You know what I mean? Why doesn't he get Fremonov? Fremonov was supposed to fight against the guy he beat tonight. You know what I'm saying? Fremonov has been in the top five for how long now? I would say let him throw down. Shamil for me is deserving of fighting a bit higher up the rankings because he's been beating everybody. So I would love to see Shamil go up, but it's not about him right now. Pedro Dantas, this is just his debut. Not too sure who they would give him next, but he's a puzzle. I like what I see so far in his debut, so I would love to see him fight anybody really. It doesn't matter who they give him. But I would just love to see him fight again. I just don't know when and what card that would look like. Would it be a Friday fights card? I highly doubt it. Probably another fight night card. But let's see. He's young. That's his first loss. Pretty sure he's gonna come back stronger after that. So I'm quite excited to see what we'll do next. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, great fight all around once again. But yeah, I share your sentiments there about
Mm.
what's his name, Duaev, and also about the division as a whole. I do think Gasanov definitely does deserve to fight up. So yeah, it just comes back to the situation now. Has Pedro been contracted, or was it a one fight contract?
Yeah.
What is the situation there? Because like you said, we'd love to see him back. He definitely made fans of a lot of people tonight. So
Mm.
yeah, would love to see him back at the organization, but I just don't know who and when. That's the mystery there, and that's for Uncle
Yeah.
Chowdhury to sort out. So hopefully he gets it done. Because I mean, if you couldn't see a a prospect in that performance tonight, then you're in the wrong industry, I think.
There we go.
Because the man laid it all out there, and yeah, it was a spectacle for everyone to see, and our fight of the night. So yeah,
Yeah.
let's get this man back, and yeah, let's get him back into
I will say
competition, and
this.
hopefully we can see more from him.
Yeah, 100% Eddie. I will say this. If it was a one contact fight, I'm pretty sure after that, Chart is going to go, we want to keep you around. Because he brought the crowd. When his fight came on, he didn't only bring the crowd in Lumpini Stadium with people shouting, but he also brought the crowd and fighting with friends. Let's get real. A lot of people tuned into our live because they wanted to check Pedro fight and they wanted to see Rodriguez fight. So he brought a lot of fans with him, and I think there's something there. And it's not often that we see fighters in the one championship do what he did, the magnetism of getting the crowd hyped up, bringing the emotion with him, and then doing that Pereira stay down with Ibrahim. I mean, let's get real. It's not often we see that in one championship. It happened before, but it's a rare thing. And then when Pedro did that, I was like, oh my word, the one championship needs a character like this. He's not being out of pocket or anything like that. He's just, he's hyping up the guys. He's hyping up himself more than anything else, and that's resulting in the fans also getting a piece of that hype. So, I'm
Yeah,
Chowdhury. Find this dude
I
now.
was pumped. Yeah, I was pumped. Yeah, agreed. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments about the fight and Pedro Dantas. How impressed were you with him? But yeah, thanks again to all the Brazilian viewers who tuned in just a few hours
Yeah,
ago. We'll keep moving to some bantamweight Muay Thai. We saw Vladimir Kuzmin defeat Stefan Korodi. And also, yeah, great back and forth.
yeah.
Like I alluded to on stream, for me, it was the boxing combinations that won Vladimir this fight. Unanimous decision, correct decision at the end of the
Yeah.
day. But PG, what can you tell us as far as more technical insight goes here, bro?
Yeah, you got to give props to both guys. Right? Stefan Krodi came into the fight and utilized his reach really well. He's a taller fighter, and I could see that Vladimir for that first, I would say, minute, almost 2 minutes of that first round, he had a little bit of difficulty dealing with his range, right? Because Stefan was also throwing a lot of kicks at him from different stances as well. Well, not necessarily different stances, but he was switching the sides. He was going to the leg, then going to the body, and then switching it around the whole time, and that kept Vladimir at bay for that first round for quite some time. But Vladimir, as creative as he is and a good boxer that he is, you can also see him switching up his stances and just touching up Stefan every time. And what I liked about Vladimir in this fight was he didn't headhunt. You know what I mean? A lot of guys, when they see the height discrepancy there, they tend to close the void as quickly as possible, headhunt, because I wanna really eliminate disadvantages as fast as I can. Whereas Vladimir fought as if he didn't believe he had disadvantages in terms of height and range. He fought like he was the more rangier fighter, which is what I said in the preview as well. Fights, his boxing is like someone who's got this long arms, bro, and he does. Let's get really does for the bantamweight division. But he fought someone that's bigger than him, so he had to do a little bit more. And what he did more was he attacked the body really well. Every time they got close, bang, 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 he left like 3 or 4 shots in the body on Stefan Karodi, and that was wearing him down, which ultimately allowed Vladimir to land, a hard check left. He landed 2 hooks actually, and one in the round 2 and in the round 3, and both of those rocked Karodi, made him stumble back, and that ultimately won in the fight because there was no really knockdown. There was no one really looked like they took a lot of damage. It was kind of back and forth. Both guys were on their bikes. They were moving a lot. You know what I mean? There was never really moments where they just they stood down and just let themselves go to see who's going to get the finish. Both guys were quite defensive, so they were moving a lot of times. So no, there was never really a stationary target for either of them to, deploy something heavy. But when it did happen, when there was a car crash, Vladimir came out better, and yeah, I thought this boxing was crisp and it won him the fight. It was fast and it was more accurate. Where Stefan Krodi didn't really go through a lot of weapons. I did say on stream as well, he's not punching a lot here. He's kicking a lot, but I don't see him throw any elbows or punches. He threw elbows once they got very, very close. But apart from that, he wasn't popping out any jabs, set up those kicks. He wasn't doing anything like that, and I thought that was quite strange. Where Vladimir was letting things go, he was even spinning elbows a lot. So, yeah, for me, he ticks the boxes, and that's why he won every round, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, decent performance. Were you impressed enough with him to say that this warrants him a top 5 opponent? Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm gonna bring up the rankings quickly. He needs to go on a streak first, man. He needs to, you know what I'm saying, before he can start pulling out a bigger name.
Yeah.
Um, He's on a 1-fight win streak now. Lost to Sewer Black before that. Before that, he was on a 2-fight win streak against Fabio Reis, which was a good fight, by the way. And Zafir, which we watched at the pay-per-view event 166. But before that, he was on a losing streak against Agadi and Muay Thai, and then one win. So it's a bit of a the record doesn't look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to fight. He's gonna have to fight. Gonna have to fight someone else.
What do you think about the Sewer Black rematch? Because
I
Sewer
don't think
Black's
Sewer
also like just turned it around now. He's just got back into winning ways.
Yeah, but he's not in this division anymore. Sewer Black he went down flyweight. Yeah, so
Okay.
he's not in this
Scrap that.
division. There's Suwakim, bantamweight Suwakim.
I think Suakim smokes him, bro.
That would be a good fight.
Don't want to do that to my guy, but I think Suakim will absolutely destroy this guy.
You think so?
Granted, it was a good performance, bro, but it wasn't. I just from what I saw from Suakim against Kuma with the last time,
Yeah,
I just feel like there's gonna be a big difference in skill, bro.
I think it will be a great fight. Honestly, there Abdulla Dayakaev is there. You know, he said in his interview that you will fight either one 66 kgs or 70 kgs, but he's been highlighting 66 a lot, which means he wants to stay in this division here. You know what I mean?
His coach Mehdi Azud said that he wants Dayakaev to move up in 2 years when Anani, because he wants Anani also to go up, and then he wants Dayakaev to go for that belt in about 2 years' time. So I think he'll probably stay bantamweight until his coach gives him the go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's young. He's 23, so he will stay in this division for a while. And as long as Dayakaev stays in this division, I think it's going to be a problem for a lot of the guys here. And Usman is he's just there. He's teetering on that line. You know what I mean? In my opinion, he's like he just needs to go on another win streak. Maybe get 2 more fights under his belt. He's still under 30 as well, so I think like he can also, you know, this Rambolek doesn't even have a fight. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't know if that win over Stephen Karodi warrants that kind of caliber of opponent just yet. I don't know. Yeah. But if anyone has their thoughts, they can just drop it in the comments. You know, they can just let us know. But he needs to have one more fight first.
Yeah, agreed. All right then, BG, we can keep moving.
All right, let's get that other one up. Here we go. This was also a good fight.
The ladies, we had Chichiro Sawada beat Macarena Aragon by first round submission. Macarena coming out like a bull out of hell here, trying to use his strength advantage. But yeah, overzealous and just got caught in a beautiful armbar by Chichiro.
Yes.
And yeah, just again a fantastic display of defensive jiu-jitsu and just how quickly things can change, bro. Because Macarena was the aggressor until she wasn't. You know what I mean? So yeah, BG, give us your thoughts.
Absolutely. You know, it was throwing shades of underestimation a little bit, in my opinion. I did think that Macarena Aragon's wrestling style will be difficult for Phetjeeja to deal with because it is quite bullish. It's heavy top control, and like, you know, I'm taller and broader than you, and I'm gonna keep you here. And it was looking like it was doing that, but then there were moments where Macarena Aragon looked like she was, like I said, underestimating Phetjeeja because she was trying to be so heavily bullish that she was rushing the exchanges, she was rushing the movement to the next position so fast that you forget that Phetjeeja can tap you out. She's a scrambler on the ground, and she's very good at that. Even though I think she can also strike really well. But that's what happens when you're dealing with top jiu-jitsu practitioners. Is that when you scramble so quickly, you really need to be protective with your arms and your legs and things, because they can grab any one of those limbs, and the next thing you know, you're having to tap something, you know. And that's what happened there when Macarena was in top control, or she was on bottom and tried to get top, and was trying to actually get away. Phetjeeja grabbed an arm very quickly, sunk in that arm bar, and ultimately tapped. It was very quick in the first round, by the way, because I thought the fight was going to go a little bit longer than that. Because I thought it was going to be wrestling heavy. They were going to grapple a lot, and you know, we're going to get back and forth in. But Phetjeeja, like you mentioned it on live stream, it looked like Phetjeeja was game planning that. Like she knew she was going to get taken down, and she knew she was going to take on someone that was going to be wrestling heavy. So it felt like she was working submissions in training camp. You know what I mean? With Because I think that being the smaller fighter, trying to explode out of those positions to dominate or to make the wrestling even, probably have tired out Chihiro Sawada. So they were like, instead of trying to explode with her, because she is bigger than you, and let's be real, that Makarana Adegon is strong. Instead of exploding with her and trying to reverse the positions, let's hunt for submissions on a consistent basis whenever there's a transition, and that could maybe give Sawada the advantage, and it did, and that's probably what, in my opinion, probably what happened in training camp, and that's why we saw a nice armbar like that. Great fight for as long as it lasted.
Yeah. Again, fantastic performance there by Chichiro, and shout out to our coaching staff as well, who, like we said, great game plan there. This was Atomweight Women's MMA BG. So Chichiro is
Mm.
ranked at number 5. What would you like to see next for?
So we know the stamp is still out, right? I got a feeling that Denise Ambawanga is going to defend the title at 173. Most likely going to be Ayaka Miura. Chihiro Sawada has only one loss, and that was against Meng Bo, and that was a very, very close fight. If Ham Sung Hee doesn't come back, I don't know where she is, and she's one of the mainstays there. I would say then Chihiro Sawada's got to go up against Meng Bo. That's got to be the run back. And if she gets through Meng Bo, because of the way that fight ended, I would love to see this fight again, and so we can get a clear cut winner. If not that fight, I don't know. It has to be either
There's not much else, bro.
Yeah.
There's not much else to say there. It kind of
Yeah.
speaks for itself in a way. So yeah, do agree. It's got to be Meng Bo there, bro. Unless someone can tell us where Hamso is. We can find send out a search party there. But yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you have any different thoughts, or if you agree with us, let us know. Please drop a like on the video while you're there, and then we'll keep moving. And we saw my boy Abdulla Dayakaev could not have dreamed it going better than it did. Walk off, left hook, KO, and just absolutely starching Nontachai in the very first round. Only took him 20 seconds, BG. So, can you give us your recap in a little bit more time than it took Dayakaev to get the job done?
Yeah, look, Dayakaev, again, my guy looked very, very full for the featherweight division. Packed on a lot of muscle for this division, which caught me by surprise, if I'm being honest. The fight didn't go that long. It went very quick. I did think that Nontachai had to be patient, because obviously, like I said, if he's going to go in there and make it a bit of a scrap, he's going to get caught. Abdulla Dayakaev didn't even let it go to a scrap. It was one car crash, 20 seconds in, check left hook, bang, ended the night of Nontachai. He wasn't going to come up. Abdullah did say that once he landed the left hook, he looked him in the eyes and he was like, I know for sure that Nontachai is not going to get up. And that's why he nodded and walked away like that. And it was showing us just flashbacks of Cameron Nabati, the way he would knock people out.
Yeah.
One championship exactly the same way, check left hook. It's a scary move the way they throw it. It's like so much power, and it's like they step down when they throw it. It's mad. And Nontachai was the taller fighter, and he did land something in an exchange because Dayakaev's cheek was cut. But yeah, too short for us to even break it down in terms of how it happened. Dayakaev just went in there, and when the exchange just started, he just went for a counter shot and it landed. And he won the fight. I don't know if he's going to fight anyone else in the featherweight division, to be honest. So I'm not going to say he must go for that, purely because he's technically a bantamweight guy. That's where he wants to be. And you said it yourself in the post-fight interview backstage with his coach. He wants to stay at 66. So I think bantamweight is the division where he needs to stay at the moment. While Nabil is a champion, you can kind of, you can be the, what's the word, like the reconnaissance for Nabil Anand, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? You can take on some of the other top 5 contenders. The research.
Merab to Aljamain Sterling.
Here we go with the Merab to Aljamain Sterling, exactly that. So, and that's what it feels like. I mean, he was calling for Lobo last year. Lobo was supposed to get Kulab Dam. Kulab Dam got pulled from the rankings, it looks like, and then moved Nambolek to Dayakaev in there. So there's fights to make, bro. If he doesn't get Yod-IQ is fighting in 2 weeks' time. If he doesn't, like you wins that fight, I say let him run it back. Because Abdullah did say that he's not impatient. He's more than happy to take his time and run it back with Yod-IQ. That would be a great fight, a great rematch. If he doesn't get Yod-IQ, then maybe go for Rambolek, go for Kulabdam, go for Lobo. You must call in these big boys out. Let's see what you have up against the big guys. You just starch the fighter that's in the division heavier than you. So yeah, I would say if he doesn't get Yod-IQ, depending on what Yod-IQ does in this next fight, then money down. I would love to see him go up against Rambolek.
Yeah, I would love to see it too, bro. But let us know your thoughts in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. You made a bit of accusations on stream, bro. Do you want to repeat that, or should we keep it moving?
No, they can go check it back on stream. When I found out this morning, when I found out off stream that Dayakaev moved up only for this one fight, it reserved my opinions a little bit about what I said. But
Mm.
but I still have my suspicions.
All right. Well, if you're interested in what BJ is talking about, be sure to watch back our live stream. You can see everything unfiltered. And
Unfiltered.
yeah, let us know your thoughts on that one. But yeah, we'll keep moving to some women's Atomweight Muay Thai. We saw Martina Krzyzewska defeat Cynthia Flores. And yeah, to put it very simply, it was 3D versus 1D, and it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give it straight to you here, BG. Tell us about it.
Yeah, again, like you called it 3D versus 1D. It was Cynthia trying to figure out range, trying to figure out what to do, what else to throw. Whereas Martina Kazinska looked like she was fighting, actually was in training mode, and she was trying to just better her score.
Mm.
That's what it looked like because she was flow stating it. You know what I mean? She was everything she wanted to do and throw worked for her. She was defensively sound, no damage really. And Cynthia was throwing some heat. She was throwing some bombs when it got into clinch, but Martina Kazinska was very defensive in those moments. But once they got out into the open, Martina was letting her hands go, letting her kicks go. She was just dictating the pace of the fight in every avenue of it. Cynthia missed hydration, but she passed weight. She came to this fight looking jacked. I mean, she was mad muscular, but not enough weapons,
Mm.
not enough game planning. A lot of it was just, you know, like you mentioned, I'm gonna try and bully you. I'm a tank. I'm gonna go right through your shots. I'll take your shots, and I'm gonna throw my stuff, and it's gonna land, and I'm gonna be the one that hits harder. And she
Mm.
tried that, but Martina was very open to it. Martina even had a bite in. There was moments where Martina would come in and then step into the void, but then throw nothing. She would just step in there and then watch Cynthia put her head down and just wail some shots. So I was like, okay, now she's got a reaction. She knows what she's going to retaliate with now. You know what I mean? So because Martina was able to do that, she was in full control of the fight, and that's how she won the fight for 3 rounds. A clear-cut unanimous decision. She landed more significantly, more consistently, cleaner. Looked very good in the fight, and yeah, that's what we said in the preview. I said Martina's going to beat her up. So yeah, great performance from Martina Kazencha for sure.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I think she's a champion in Mexico, Cynthia Flores. I think she's kind of used to getting away, and I think
Mm.
once you hit a certain level of competition, that one-dimensional approach just doesn't work, and was on display for everyone to see. So yeah, great performance by Martina, and yeah, PG, do you have any final words on this one?
Yeah, I would love to see Vera. I'd love to see Kazenska fight one of the Veros, either Vera or Vera. She's doing really well in one championship, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like Martina Kazenska has showed up and she took one loss, but she's been consistent. So there's fighters like there's Sher Cohen, there's the Vero or there's Vera. Nong Fasai is also fought recently. So yeah, I would say any one of those names would be a good name for Martina Kazinska. Because then we
Mm.
can get some more consistent athletes in the Atomweight Muay Thai division. You know what I mean? I don't think we're gonna have Stem Fairtex come back to Muay Thai. I think she's gonna stick to MMA. Um, so yeah, I would love to see Martina Kazinska fight any one of those names I just mentioned.
Give thanks, BG. You know where the comment section is, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know if you have any thoughts on that one. We'll keep moving to the opening bout of the card where we saw Jean-Lo Mark Sangyao, aka John Carlo, defeat Shinek Katka
Mhm.
Soltzek by third down submission. And yeah, it was a great way to start off the card. Fantastic grappling display here, both men trying to advance position. Just a reminder that grappling isn't actually boring when it's done correctly like this. So yeah, it was great to see. And yeah, great finish at the end of it by Jean Lo. I felt a bit gutted for Zoltek's sake because he did scramble very well and he did make a fight of it. But yeah, Jean Lo marked too good on the night, stamping his victory with a finish. PG, give us your thoughts here, please.
Yeah, good summary of the fight there. Jean Mark is the superior grappler. We know that. So we have to give a lot of praise for Zolcetic's ability to scramble and keep the fight as long as it did, and survive those rounds because we know how grueling grappling is. And when it was done at the level that they were doing it at, I was surprised that they were still had the energy to be able to fight in that third round because it's tiring, it's taxing. They were reversing positions. They were always Jean Mark was always trying to finish whenever they were on the ground with a submission. Whenever Zoltacek would reverse the position, he would always try to throw ground and pound. So both guys were they've been trying to end the fight wherever they were, whether they were standing or whether they were on the ground. Um, so I thought it made it for a good spectacle and a good curtain raiser as well, because when they were standing, Zoltacek was, he was walking him down and like sitting up right hand, like, and then overhand. But then John Mark was wise to this, and he was just like, "I'm gonna duck under, sweep the legs, take you down, and we're gonna wrestle and we're gonna exchange blows here." Um, I think in the second round, John Mark took a massive break in that second round. He was very tired, and you could see he wasn't throwing a lot in that second round. He was just recovering a lot of the time, allowing Soltis to close him down and strike with him, but he was still defensive and taking his breath because in the third round, John Mark shot for a takedown and was like, now we're going to go back to the game. And then basically get in the back control of Zoltecek, and then sinking in the rear naked choke towards the end of the round, by the way. And then once he got that rear naked choke, it was basically night for Zoltecek. He had to tap. But for as long as the fight was happening, it was a very good spectacle because it wasn't easy for John Mark to get that takedown and get that submission. Zoltecek was very powerful and he was very defensive. He wasn't just laying down and allowing John Mark to stay there. Like I said, he was making it a bit of a scramble in terms of the ground game. By the end of the day, when he got John Mark on top of you, he's very good at submissions. And when he gets something sunk, he's gonna choke you, bro. So yeah, he won the fight in a good performance, good opening fight for the fight card. So yeah, big ups to both guys. But John Mark, something to watch.
Fair play, PG. And yeah, this was bantamweight MMA. We
Yeah.
know Unc Orgil is on quite a nice streak now, so he's definitely going to fight up now, I think. But he did beat Jeremy Pacatel in his last fight. So is that the next move here for Jean Lo, do you think? Do you think he's ready? Is he going to step up to the top 5 quite yet? Or what are your thoughts here, bro?
Yeah. I think if he continues the way he's fighting, I do believe he'll make his way to that top 5. Jeremy Pacatel is fighting. I forgot his name now, but that's going to be, I think, the 1st of August or something, 1st or 2nd of August. That they're going to also fight card. Jeremy's on that fight card. Unc Ogle doesn't have a fight, so he could rematch that fight, but Unc Ogle's going to probably go up higher. Quan Won the Second now had 2 attempts at the title and lost both attempts in the same fashion. So I think that could be a fight for him since that both Stefan Lohman and Quan Won the Second doesn't have a fight. So I would say there's a fight for him, Um,
Yeah.
John Mark was on a quite a streak before losing to Unc Ogle. So yeah, I would say let him get a crack at one of those top 5 guys for sure. They could use him as a leverage for a star here. You know what I mean? It's just a bigger version of Joshua Pacheco. What's up?
Yeah. No, I'm just laughing because in case anybody is unaware, Quan Wan the Second is in fact Quan Wan Il. He's
Yeah,
just become affectionately known as Quan Wan the Second here at Fight and Friends. So in case anybody was wondering who you were talking about, just thought I'd
yeah,
fill you
yeah.
in there. But yeah, agreed. Yeah, any final thoughts here, BG?
Um, no, I just thought it was a good MMA scrap, and I want to see more bantamweight MMA fights because I want my guy Fabricio Andrade to fight more. He's getting older. He's 28 now. I think let's not waste this talent, because in my opinion, I don't even really want to say let's send the one fighters over to UFC because I want one to obviously maintain the best guys. But if you're not going to give Fabricio Andrade more talent to fight against, then I would say let's send him over to the UFC because he's a talent that really needs to be consistently fighting, in my opinion.
100% agree there, BG. And you can let us know your thoughts in the comments there, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, that rounds out one fight night 33 very nicely for us, BG. So we did give a post fight score on
Mm.
live stream. You can maybe
Mhm.
just remind us and give us your final thoughts on the card, please.
Yes, so before the fight card, I was on the 8. After the fight card, I said 8.25. That's just because that co-main event ended in a no contest, and that brought it down. But Rodriguez winning in the way that she did win took it back up to that 8.25 for me. So great card overall, amazing fights. And hopefully we can get that run back for Shadow and Mohammad Younes. They both deserve it, in my opinion.
Agreed, agreed. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 8.5 as my final score. Yeah, I did push it up to a 9, but thinking back, that eye poke was really a dampener on the card, so it would be unfair to other cards which are 9s to call that a 9. But
Yeah,
it just is testament to how explosive and how entertaining all the fights on the cards were that I
yeah.
was considering giving this a 9. So fantastic card, well worth waking up for on 2 hours sleep.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you have made it this far, ladies and gentlemen, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for everyone tuning into the live stream. So yeah, for myself, Brother Gaia, Brother Babu, Jedi Knight, Nate Dizzle in the back room, all of us here at Fighting Friends, thank you so much, everybody. Obrigado, Brazil. Boa!